between mother's education and children's education. So increase in the number of years of women's education leads to the increase in the number of the years of their children's education. Now I'd like to share one of the most successful programs designed and implemented by the Korean government. That project was called ICT Education for 1 million Korean housewives. Nowadays, Korea is well known as one of the most advanced IT countries. However, not that long ago, we are not that advanced in that aspect. Nowadays, we have Samsung and SK Hynix, which produce like semiconductors at a massive level. And in terms of IT infrastructure, Korea is number one. And also like many, in relation to many IT related areas, we are ranking as one of the top countries. However, as again, in like 1999 or 2000, like about 20 years ago, Korea is not that advanced. So, for example, Korean women's information access rate was not that high. Women's internet access rate was just 1.8% compared with males rate 21.6%. Women's email use rate was pretty low, very low, less than 1%. PC use rate was about 11%, okay? So the government at that time was considering this project, teaching IT skills to 1 million Korean housewives. I mean, in terms of the Indonesian population size, 1 million might be little. However, in Korea, we have like 50 million people living. 1 million out of 50 million is quite a lot. So government was considering this project, but then at that time, the government was split into two groups, one supporter group and one opponent group. The opponent group thought that they are women, they are housewives. What can they do with IT skills and knowledge? It's going to be a waste of money and energy. However, fortunately for our country, the supporter group won in the battle. So finally, the government successfully implemented this project. So that idea was to educate 1 million Korean housewives how to use computer within 1.5 year period. That project turned out really sensational and successful. So many Korean housewives showed great interest in this learning opportunity. So 1 million Korean housewives enrolled in this IT training program way earlier than originally scheduled or planned. So they learned about how to use like computers, how to create an email account, how to send and receive emails, and also they learned about how to do some e-commerce. The results was so surprising and sensational. And this project was regarded as one of the most successful projects implemented by the Korean ministry. And in terms of the Korean informatization history, this project was regarded as the turning point. The result was housewives started to be heavily involved in like internet use. There was a dramatic increase in the housewives' internet access rate from like less than 2% in 1999 to about 20% in 2000. I know that Indonesian women are heavy users of mobile phones. However, at that time, Korean housewives were not that active. But anyway, thanks to women's heavy involvement in the informatization, the Korean informatization level was accelerated, and the housewives pushed their husband to buy a computer at home and like to send their children to computer institute. Why? Because they were clearly aware of the importance of IT skills at the time. And then also the e-commerce started dramatically in Korea. Again, this project shows the significant role that women can play in national and social development. There's a clear need for women's empowerment, and I'm very happy to see that in this volume there are so many women, and we can share a lot of ideas and insights. Many studies are reporting that there is a correlation between female leadership and organizational performance. If you look at the second quote, it says the more women board members, the better financial results of company. And there is a saying that gender diversity in leadership is a crucial factor to innovation and competitiveness of an organization. This is strongly supported by research studies. This is the result of one research study done in Korea. There's correlationship between the use of women resources, particularly in the decision-making positions, and the performances. For example, return of sales and return of equity. So for example, if there are more women middle managers and women board members, there will be better performance or outcomes. Now, with this idea, I would like to draw your attention to gender issues and gender equality in early childhood education context. I would say that in many parts of the world, our children are in gendered environments. I mean, they are constantly surrounded by gendered discourse. For example, boys don't cry. Girls should be quiet and kind. Boys do not have long hair. Early childhood teacher is a woman's job, and so on. And there is a huge influence from media too. Korean animations were analyzed from gender perspective, and gender stereotypes were clearly reflected in those animations. For example, there are not many female characters, and female characters in the Korean animations are like wearing in pink and ribbons, and the female characters are secondary. Their main roles are main character's girlfriend, and they are doing some minor and supportive acts. However, male characters are wonderful, excellent problem solvers, and they are doing brave and heroic acts. And we can easily imagine what kind of impacts this kind of gender stereotypes can have upon children's identity, particularly gender identity construction. So our children are situated in socio-cultural context where such gender stereotypes are like playing a very important role, and gendered discourse is very strong and persistent, and heavily influenced by such gender stereotypes and gendered discourse, they gradually construct their gender identity. And we can say that if this problem is not properly addressed, the current problems surrounding gender inequality are likely to persist in our world. So here comes the role of early childhood education. And I strongly believe that early childhood education is a very nice, excellent context for raising our children's gender awareness. A lot of research studies report that early childhood is a very important period in forming gender identity. And you can see some research studies. And Koch and Ilby claimed in 2005 that in order to bridge the gender gaps that girls and boys will experience later in their life, it is crucial, it's very important to begin addressing gender biases early in their life. And here comes another very important concept, role of early childhood teachers, role of kindergarten teachers or preschool teachers in terms of the development of children's balanced gender identity or the sense of gender equality. I believe that everybody in this room easily agrees how important role a teacher can play in shaping and reshaping our students' or children's thoughts and behaviors. According to one study, UNESCO 2016, teachers' gender-responsive pedagogies help to enhance girls' self-esteem in African countries. Unfortunately, there's a lack of focus in gender equality in early childhood education, not only in policies, but also in research studies. So, I conducted one small-scale study involving Korean preschool and kindergarten teachers with a purpose to explore Korean early childhood teachers' gender awareness and their classroom practices. My research questions were, to what extent are Korean early childhood teachers aware of gender issues? What are their gender-related classroom practices? I worked with 11 Korean teachers, and you can see their biographic information there. They are all female teachers, and I interviewed with each teacher for like about half an hour to 2 hours. And I would like to share the research findings with you. In response to the first research question, to what extent are Korean early childhood teachers aware of gender issues? I would say that all the Korean early childhood teachers that I interviewed have developed a gender awareness to varying degree. Some teachers reached a pretty high level of gender awareness. However, some others have pretty lower gender awareness. It depends on like individual teachers. However, one thing that I can say for sure is that all of them had a sort of gender awareness or gender sensitivity. However, there are some obvious differences between like young teachers and aged teachers. So one of the aged teachers said that I'm not sure whether it is okay for a boy to wear a dress. And another aged teacher said, I'm trying to be open up to the notion of gender equality, but I feel I myself have some fixed views of gender. But one of the young teachers said, I think teachers in my age group have a similar level of gender sensitivity. I would like to say something about the causes of this change or the development of gender awareness. I would say that traditionally Korea is like heavily entrenched in gender stereotypes. Gender stereotypes or traditional gender roles are very strictly placed and working in so many aspects of Korean society. However, at a certain point of time, that very strong power structure related to gender started to shake. There was many social causes. So for example, there has been an increasing challenge against the traditional gender norms or gender roles and stereotypes. And the policies and programs were arranged for enhancing gender equality and women's empowerment, not only by the government, but also by academia and NGOs. And more women started to participate in social and economic activities, and more women were visible in decision-making or leadership positions. And that social changes motivated many Korean women to develop some gender awareness or gender sensitivity. And that social change has a strong impact upon early childhood teachers in terms of gender equality. However, in addition to the social change, I would like to highlight one another cause of the change, that is the effects of teacher training programs. So not only in pre-service training at college, but also in-service professional training, gender issues started to be addressed seriously. And that started to have a profound impact on early childhood teachers' gender awareness or gender sensitivity. However, as we are living in the transitional period, many Korean early childhood teachers are facing dilemmas, asking, am I on the right track? One of the teachers said, I know gender equality is important, but I'm not that confident that my words and behaviors are appropriate from gender perspectives. I sometimes wonder whether what I'm doing or saying is correct or not. Similarly, another teacher said, a couple of years ago, there was a 6-year-old boy in my class. That boy really liked to play with girls all day long, cooking and playing girls' roles. As it went on for a long time, I started to worry about the boy. What if the boy fails to develop masculine characteristics in time? That was pretty contradictory to what I have been saying to my children. I don't know what an optimal level is. How should I react to such a situation? What is the proper gender equality education practice? So based on this, I can say that Korean early childhood teachers have a very strong need for more guidance, particularly on gender equality practices. How many? Then what are they doing in their class? All of them said that there is no gender-focused lessons or programs. However, they are trying to naturally embed gender perspectives in class routines or educational activities, sometimes through verbal interaction. So for example, one teacher said, children have already developed strong gender stereotypes. One day, children were going to do a hospital role play. In deciding roles to play, one boy said, I want to be a nurse. And then another boy said, hey, nurse is a woman's job. You should not play a nurse role. I then intervened in the situation by saying, oh, that's not true. There are many male nurses. When I went to a hospital, a male nurse gave me a shot. I do talk of this type a lot to break children's prejudice against gender. This kind of verbal interaction happens a lot. So through verbal interaction, the teacher was trying to fix some gender stereotypes. Another way was by using gender-flexible instructional materials, for example, pictures or storybooks. One teacher said that when she was trying to teach some jobs that are easily associated with men, like a police officer or firefighter, she liked to use pictures of female firefighters or female police officers. The same went on to the jobs related to women, like male nurse pictures and storybook. Some teachers do not want to use storybooks like heavily presenting gender stereotypes. Using non-sexist, gender-neutral language and giving varied choices to children, these are some classroom practices that the teachers like to use to enhance students' gender awareness. Conclusion. I would like to highlight the importance of early childhood teachers in terms of the development of children's gender awareness and sensitivity. I strongly believe that you as early childhood teachers can serve as the agents of social change so that our children can enjoy more opportunities and can realize their potential as much as possible according to their own interests and talents. How? How can it happen? By questioning and challenging the dominant discourse of gender and social gender stereotypes, and also by becoming sensitive to the subtle, invisible ways that traditional gender roles and norms persist in the ECE context, and also by designing and implementing classroom practices in a more gender-responsive way, by creating conditions for different ways of being and acting, finally, by reflecting on our gender awareness and classroom practices. The second point that I want to highlight that is really important to provide teachers training on gender-responsive pedagogies. I earlier told you that many Korean preschool or early childhood teachers have a strong need for more guidance and more training in that direction. Finally, positive change cannot happen only through teachers' intervention. More wider level of social engagement in gender equality is definitely needed. Government is playing a very important role, and there should be more public discourse on gender equality and women's empowerment. And finally, there should be more gender-responsive educational resources, for example, toys. Still, most of the toys for women, girls, are in pink and have a pattern. The same goes to the toys for boys, and storybooks are the same. So hopefully there will be more gender responsive or gender flexible resources and materials. That's one of the ways to help our students to raise gender awareness in a more positive, balanced way. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Ms. Myonghee Kim from the Korea sharing experience about the important issue of gender in Korea. And then they have also the project train the teacher in Korea, not train the teacher but train the housewife for the row and row A in Korea. Now the committee asking for 10 minutes to change the electricity. 10 seconds. Sudah? Oke. Bapak Ibu sekalian, mengerti nggak tadi first speaker? Kita akan lanjutkan ke second speaker yang dari Sweden. Mungkin Bapak Ibu yang bagus di bidang pendidikan di dunia. Jadi kita akan mendengarkan dari Sweden about the topic is the philosophy of Swedish early childhood education care. Jadi akan dipresentasi oleh Anette Hellman from the University of Gothenburg, Sweden. Please, the floor is yours. She can speak Indonesia also.
Sorry, it's not me. But anyway, it was a nice picture. It's the wrong picture. So doesn't that look better there? It's the wrong picture. But still, I was beautiful there as well. So anyway. Selamat siang. And thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so honored to be here in Indonesia again. So my name is Anette Hellman, and I'm actually worked as a preschool teacher for 25 years before I became a researcher. So please give an applause to the preschool teachers in the back. The most heroic work on earth, in my opinion. So today I will talk about the philosophies in Swedish early childhood education and care, about educare, about democracy, about equality, and about sustainable development. Whoops. Yep. So first of all, I will give you a very short historical background. And I will say something on the topic that preschool teacher education and practice and teachers' obligation according to the national curriculum of preschool and the practice in Sweden, actually very tight links between those. So I should maybe tell you that I'm also working at the preschool teacher education in Gothenburg and writing some of the courses there, as well as working with the Swedish government and the Ministry of Education in Sweden, writing the curriculum. Then I will talk about some of the contemporary philosophies in Swedish early childhood education, which was the topic, the lovely topic I was given from the organizers here. That would be about educare, about democracy, children's rights, and children's influence, equality, equity, and sustainable development. So, here is a picture from the very first kindergarten in Sweden. And as very many kindergartens or early childhood education and care settings, I imagine, are actually influenced by Fröbel. How is it here in Indonesia? Is it the case here as well? Are you inspired by Fröbel from the beginning, I mean? You can do a research on that afterwards. I've been to a couple of early childhood education settings around the world, and when I talk to people there, it's very often the case that Fröbel is an inspiration for us all. So sometimes we tend to talk about the Swedish early childhood education, maybe the Indonesian early childhood education, or the Japanese or whatever, like if they were separate cultures. But one of the main points I will do today is, or that I will share with you, is that actually I think that there is a lot of things that connect us. There are some philosophies that are actually in a lot of contexts. And maybe we have specific preschool cultures in many countries. And Fröbel has been extremely influenced for many of us. So, Fröbel, he saw children as nature and kindergarten as something that should be something different than school. That preschool should focus on the needs of young children. And he was talking about the combination of care, play, and learning. In Sweden, then, the Moberg sisters, they started the first kindergarten inspired by Fröbel's. And in the 19th century. And then we have the kindergartens, where there was a lot of play and learning, and very often for the middle class families. Then for working class families, were very often at that time attending the nurseries. So where they had more focus on care and moral education. So if we move a little bit forward here, another big inspiration was Anna Freud. And she brought forward the theories on children's development and the importance of high-quality preschool teachers. At this time, early childhood education and care in Sweden was led, organized, and developed actually by women from the preschool teacher profession itself. So it has always been the preschool teachers that sort of have developed their own practice, so to speak. Then in the 1960s to the 80s, here's two very influential people. The first one, Alva Myrdal, she very much brought forward children's and also women's rights, as you were talking about before. And she said, they were fighting for a long time to get the early childhood education and care system that we have in Sweden today. So she said there are no reasons to deny that the way to the right path of early childhood education and care in Sweden has been a long one, full of struggles. Olof Palme was one of the most influential prime ministers that we have had in Sweden. And when he was a minister of education, he said that in the 1960s, 70s, he said that it's now a window of opportunities for the people in Sweden. We now have enough money to promote early childhood education and care for almost all children in Sweden. So there was a massive promotion of early childhood education and care in the 1970s. And actually, today, almost all children in Sweden attend an early childhood educare setting, 95% of all children in Sweden. In the 1970s, we had some very influential theorists. We had, maybe you heard of Jean Piaget and Erikson. Then it was a lot of developmental theories. But at that time, eventually it became a great critique on the general stage theories and children as passive. So in the late 90s, another theorist was pushed forward and became very influential for our policy documents. So you can see the link between the theorists and the policy documents. That was Lev Vygotsky and his social cultural theories. So Vygotsky, he was describing children as active, and he pushed forward the importance of context. He talked about the situated learning, that you have to understand that one context is different from another, and so forth. But just to highlight then and now, as I said in the beginning, there has always been strong links between the national policy documents, the preschool teacher education, and the preschool practice. So, contemporary early childhood education then. What is the philosophies there? So, if we go to the Educational Act, so it says that the preschool or the early childhood education should lay the foundations for the first part of children's learning, which will continue for the rest of their lives. So you can see that it's thinking of lifelong learning here. Children should have the opportunity of learning through playing, creating and exploring on their own, in groups and together with adults. The preschool is a separate school form, and its activities are regarded as education and teaching. Teaching takes place under the supervision of preschool teachers, but there may also be other staff to promote the child's development and learning. I should maybe say here that actually a preschool teacher in Sweden have quite high level of education. It's 3.5 years of university studies. So here you can see that the preschool there is the first step on a lifelong learning, so to speak, and the first step in the educational system. So now we've had, let's move into the main points here. And as you might see now, the history that I have described earlier is present also in contemporary times in many ways. So first I will say something about one of the main concepts in Sweden, which would be educare, and it's actually so famous for us, so some people call it Sweducare. And then I will move into talk a little bit more on democracy and equality, and then talk a little bit on sustainable development as well. So first, educare. So this is a fundamental philosophy in Sweden, and I know that you are so, maybe have followed this from the beginning, then you will know, maybe you have noticed that, Fröbel is here. So already Fröbel talked about this, right? Here we see that play, learning, and care cannot be separated. It's impossible to separate them. And this is because children learn in caring environments. So where there's no care for the child, it will be very difficult for the child to learn. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. And also, children learn through play. Okay, so this has to be combined. So that is why preschool teachers, they work all day. I have done a couple of projects together with the Italian preschool of Reggio Emilia. And there, in Reggio Emilia, it's quite different. There are, in Italy, there the preschool teachers, they tend to work in situations coded as learning situations. And that would be, for instance, circle time, that would be art activities, and so forth. This is not the case in Sweden. In Sweden, the preschool teachers would work all day, from the beginning of the day when the children come and until the children leaves, because we believe that children learn all the time, and we need to have actually high qualified preschool teachers during the whole day, just because of that. And as I said before, children need both care and play actually in order to learn. And now we move into some more fundamental values about democracy, equality, and solidarity. Children's influence, together with one of our icons, the figure of Pippi Långstrump, like a mascot of Sweden. So this is from the Education Act, one of our national policy documents, that actually talks about what teachers should do, their obligations. Democracy forms the foundation of preschool. The Education Act stipulates that education in the preschool aims at children acquiring and developing knowledge and values. It should promote all children's development and learning and a lifelong desire to learn. An important task for the preschool is to impart and establish respect for human rights and the fundamental democratic values on which the Swedish society is based. Each and every person working in the preschools should promote respect for the intrinsic value of each person, as well as respect for our shared environment. The inviolability of human life, individual freedom and integrity, the equal value of all people, equality between the genders, as well as solidarity with the weak and vulnerable, are values that the preschool should actively promote in its work with children. So this is an obligation. This is something that teachers have to do. In relation to democracy, I think that democracy in relation to early childhood education and care will be very much about children's influence and children's rights. So that is why I want to share with you today that actually the Convention on the Rights of the Child will become Swedish law in 2020. So it has just been decided. And hopefully it will mean that children will be in greater focus in situations that apply to them, says the Minister of Children, Elderly and Gender Equality, Lena Hallengren. So hopefully it will be even more focus on children's rights in the future, in the whole Swedish society, but not at least in the Swedish early childhood education and care. So more specifically, what might it mean? It could mean that parents, something around parents, since parents should always consider what is best for the child according to this law. So countries should make an effort to help the parents so that they can be better parents. One good way to help the parents is to make sure that there are good preschool or daycare centers where children can stay when their parents are at work. And also, it could be the case that we even more promote children's right to play, to the right to have free time and rest also in early childhood education and care. And I also think that we need to take children's voices more seriously, even more seriously. And I think that we in teacher education maybe have to teach our students more methods, how the students and the preschool students, how they actually can learn how to listen to children's voices in a better way. I mean, for real, really listen to children. The last value I would like to share with you is on education for sustainable development. And this is something that has been very, very important now in the last, becoming increasingly more and more important, but in the last 5 years it's been highly stressed, and also just recently it's been a part of our national policy documents as well. So when we talk about education for sustainable development in early childhood education in Sweden, we talk about 3 things, and they are all combined. It's economic sustainability, environmental sustainability, and social sustainability. So here you see the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals for 2015 to 2030, which has been referred to many times here in this conference. And it includes 2 extremely important statements, and which I think is very relevant for the field of early childhood education. And it's goal number 4 that talks about that we should ensure that all girls and boys have access to quality early childhood development care and primary education. And then to ensure that all learners acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development, and also with these critical outcomes in mind, to see that everyone in the field of early childhood education become knowledgeable and skillful, as knowledgeable and skillful as possible. And of course, we need a lot of training on this. I also want to say to you that I am also a member of this organization, which is called UMEP, which works a lot also with UNESCO, that also works for sustainable development. And at last, I want to highlight 2 very important persons, I think, that has also been very influential in the early childhood education and care in Sweden, not at least as inspiration for the kids, that they actually can do something. Children can do something. Children are active. Children might have power. They can change things. So first of all, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, Malala, and then the climate activist, Greta Thunberg. Malala Yousafzai. Have you heard of them? Please say yes. Yes. So, I have come to my summary. So, I have talked about a lot of philosophers now, and even if diversity of theories or philosophies still may be present in the Swedish early childhood education and care, there has been a shift in time. And we can see that we have moved from a view on children as nature, that we could see in relation to the theories from Fröbel and so forth, towards a view where we think of children as part of and constructing their own culture and their own cultures. There has also been a shift from developmental theories, and where children were seen as more passive and as maybe becoming someone who should become somebody later on, towards theories on social and cultural construction, and rather to a view on children as actually being someone here right now. And as I said, from a view on children where they are seen as quite passive and depending on adults, towards a view on children where they are seen as active agents, as we talk sometimes about the competent child, and they should have rights and they should have influence. And the last thing that both Malala and Greta symbolizes very well, I think, is that children, from a view where children were seen as a little bit more passive in relation towards future, to a view where children are seen as actively being able to working in solidarity with others to change future as well. So, and with this, I'll say terima kasih and thank you. And for you who doesn't know, this is from the beautiful city of Bandung, where also the center is located. So, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Please give big applause to Anette Hellman. Now you know already the philosophy of the education in Sweden. What do you know from this one? The philosophy of the education in early childhood in Sweden, there are three. One is the, what we say, education care, and the second one is democracy and equality, and the third one is sustainable development. In sustainable development, we have three pillars. One is the economic sustainable, and second one is environmental sustainable, and the third one social sustainability. There are three pillars in the what we say sustainable developments. Now we go to the last speaker from Malaysia, Mrs. Fonny Dameaty Hutagulung.
Okay, Hutagulung.
Hutagulung is
my father's name, actually,
yes.
surname. Okay. My
Okay,
name
so
is Fonny Dameaty Hutagulung.
Oh, okay, thank you very much for confirmations. Now we would like to invite you to speak about the parenting class in early childhood education. Maybe the best practices from Malaysia.
Okay, thank you so much, Chair.
Yes, the floor is yours. Please
Okay,
welcome
thank you so
her.
much. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum dan selamat sore. Loyo ya? Ayolah berdiri dulu sebentar. I'm so sorry, allow me in bahasa because you know our participants from Indonesia. Berdiri dulu sebentar. Capek kan? Satu hari duduk ngedengerin orang ngomong. Ya, seperti tadi, integrity, performance, collaboration. Oke, 1, 2, 3. Integrity, performance, collaboration. Sekali lagi. Integrity, performance. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, give applause for you all. Okay. Okay, mau guna bahasa Indonesia atau bahasa Inggris? Bahasa Indonesia ya. Okay, I'm so sorry. I speak bahasa, you know, because I look the tired face, ya. Apa hal ini maksudnya ya? Enggak apa-apa. My topic sangat mudah difahami. Parenting, ya, parenting. Berarti apa? Apa? Kemana Bu? Pengasuhan ibu bapa. Oke, kita ibu bapa seharusnya topik ini sudah tidak perlu lagi kita bicarakan. But, ya, a lot of study menunjukkan banyak ibu bapa bermasalah dari segi parenting. Betul ya? Betul. Banyak alasan, excuse. I don't have time. Yeah, I send my children to school, supposed to be teachers. Yeah, supposed to be teachers. Mengajarkan semua hal. Betul apa salah ini? Oh betul ya? Siapa yang guru mesti marah? Marah ya ibu bapak ya? Tidak begitu sepatutnya ya. In the parenting, which mean both teacher, parents and also our children. Tiga ini harus ada dan bekerja sama. Okay, this is very important. Why we discuss about the parenting, and I'm very happy when the Ministry of Education telah mengiktiraf. It's a very good conference actually Apa? International Conference Early Childhood and Parenting, which mean the parenting adalah hal yang sangat penting. Kenapa begitu? Kenapa begitu Ibu Bapak? I'm a psychologist Banyak kasus-kasus yang melibatkan gejala sosial yang luar biasa. Kita dapati anak-anak dapat nilai A sampai 100 A tapi tidak mampu bersosial dengan baik. They don't have the social skills. What happens? Because of some of the parents, they don't care about the soft skills. They care about the academic. That's why the parenting is a very hot topic today. Okay, this one my agenda, and also parenting purpose. So ramai ibu bapa yang kurang mengerti what purpose of the parenting. Actually, for the first is in the parenting they provide a lesson, a lot of lesson from the parenting. Parents and also children. Ramai ibu bapa yang nggak ngerti anak-anak dia, betul ya? Kenapa begini, kenapa begitu? Padahal anak kita, tapi kita nggak kenal dia. Tingkah lakunya berdasarkan our heredity, our keturunan kita. Kenapa tantrum? Kenapa marah-marah? Sebab sebenarnya itu kita role modelnya. Sometimes we are lupa dalam segi mendidik dengan cara yang betul. That's why parenting is a very good, both antara anak dan juga ibu bapa. And then the other hands also, if you are mother, you are father, kamu harus ada ilmu. I'm so sorry to say, PhD, tapi nggak ngerti soal anak-anak, a lot. I have a lot of, I'm so sorry, professor, but the children's is a very bad attitude. What the situation? Because of I saw the situation because of mother is a very busy. They don't care about their children. That's why when you seorang ibu, then you must know about what's the information yang perlu ada. Bagaimana sekarang canggih, sudah ada internet, then a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of journals, yang mengaitkan tentang kajian-kajian terkini berkaitan anak-anak. Even though you have autism children, you have disability children, supposed to be, this is not problems. Because we have a community also. Okay, and also participate in parenting training. This is very important. And then the next is we must be up to date your knowledge. Seperti saya bilang tadi. Then also need some consultation with the teachers, because in the school teachers is parents. Betul ya? It's not me as a parents. I have experience actually. I have my children is a very difficult to toilet training. She has a problem in toilet training. When I teach in house, but the problem when they are school, dia maunya pupinya di pampers, nggak mau dia. That's why when I involved in the school, they both a teacher and also me understand what happened my children. Saya tidak boleh menyalahkan ibu guru atau bapak guru, because some of our children they don't understand, which mean the same thing. Toilet training must be continuative home and also in the school. That's the situation. Okay, Ini satu ya. The parenting actually is art, ya, art. Which mean when you want to paint a perfect object, you must have art to know how to paint, how to become a high quality painting. Ya, remember the theory from who? Saya akan warnakan. Remember siapa bidang-bidang pendidikan nih? Ingat nggak teori-teori behaviorism? Dia akan boleh bentuk anak itu seperti mana yang dia mau. Siapa? Mantap, bagus, bagi tepukan buat ibu, bagi tepukan ya. This is a very good actually. And also when you learn something about your children, then you can making a children good and smart ya. Seperti anak tadi yang menari ya. Anak yang sehat, betul ya? Because of, I believe, because the father and mother give them chances what they want. Ya, tidak perlu memaksakan. Ya, tidak perlu, oh aku mau jadi saintis saja. No, kalau suka menari, menarilah. Ya, ini penting. Okay, this one is why we have to learn parenting. The first one, to understand, raise children well, and also forbid children without offending them, and also what are the primary needs of children. This is very important. Apa yang dia perlukan? Dia perlukan mamanya, bukan perlukan siapa? Perlu siapa? Bibinya. Tadi bapak ya bilangkan bahwa bukan dia, ibu tadi bilangnya, bukan dia perlukan siapanya? Pembantu rumah yang menjaga. Yes, they need their parents. Yeah, they need their parents. And also we can deal with the children's problems. Yeah, betul. When you are a parent, you sometimes you don't have knowledge. Yeah, I have experience is a very bad to care my children. Even though hanya 2 orang anak saja bapak ibu. Ya, ibu bapak saya 6 orang hebat-hebat, bisa ngurus saya 2 aja pening kepala. Ya, tetapi saya belajar dari mana? Belajar, I'm learn dari siapa? Ibu bapak kita. Ya, I'm learn with my parents also. Nah, macam mana mama dulu mengurus saya? Rupanya the same thing. Anak saya stubborn like me masa saya kecil. Childhood saya juga bermasalah. So please ya, kita ni harus open minded even though anak kita baru berumur berapa? 2-3 tahun. Remember, they are just the little size only, but they are thinking like us, adolescent person. Yeah, so careful. Okay, that's why the parenting programs is a very helping our parents, because of we understand about their needs and also their development. Yeah, a lot of our parents, yeah, especially in Malaysia, yeah, I'm so sorry, yeah, a lot of our parents they just send the children to the good kindergarten, yeah, like a international kindergarten, but sometimes when they are sent the children, dia belum mandikan pagi-pagi kan. Sakit hati enggak ibu bapak yang guru nih? Ya, sometimes our parents dia hantar begitu saja anak tuh, ya. Padahal harusnya dia must be cleaning. The peraturan begitu. But sometimes aku sudah bayar mahal. Then I don't care. You supposed to be care my children. This is the situation. That's why program education related the parenting to understand, yeah, both school and also needs of our children. And the other hand, for the parenting education, they are offering tools and strategies aimed at maximizing positive outcomes for children and family. Yeah, this one is activity, the true activity. I collect from the several kindergartens, yeah, and look at this, yeah, it's a very happy face because they have time to activity outdoor, yeah, outdoor. Nah, Okay, and also parenting education, successful parent education help parent and caregiver acquire the skills needs. Yeah, and the other hands to enhance child and family well-being. Remember, a lot of research related the well-being the happiness index. Yeah, antara both Malaysia and Indonesia also. Yeah. I thought Indonesians much happy than Malaysia. What happened? Anak-anak Indonesia lebih bergembira berbanding anak-anak Malaysia. Why? What happened? Yeah, because now when you are become a country yang very busy about the academic, then you push your students, you push your children making like a robot. Ya, kecil-kecil sudah drilling, you know, betul ya? Sekolah baru TK kita sudah drilling kan? Mesti ada 3M, membaca, menulis dan menghitung, mesti pandai. Who cares? Umur 3 tahun mau mengira apa buat apa? Ya, ibu-ibu, bapak-bapak yang di sana ya, yang guru-guru prasekolah, please jangan paksa anak untuk apa? Belajar seperti anak-anak sekolah SD. Ya, because for the early childhood you must fun learning, hands on, please. Ya, you cannot doing like a sekolah SD. You cannot, because salah. Kamu telah merampas hak anak-anak. I'm so sorry to say. Yeah, I'm so sorry to say. I know your challenge in the parents. Sometimes parents, kenapa anak saya belum pandai baca, betul ya? But you cannot explain. This our curriculum, our punya goals. Ya, jangan sampai anak-anak menjadi cepat bosan belajar. This is the situation. Okay? Okay, this one is a kind of parenting for childhood education. Parent gathering, yeah. I have a lot of experience with the parents. My students from the early childhood education always invite me as a speaker. Then I akan bercakap dengan ibu bapa bahwa parent gathering is a very good for apa? For you as a parents, because you understand about how to guide and take care of children in the family in order to develop children optimally. That's why sometimes ya, seperti the Bapa Fasli tadi bercakap ya. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Sometimes my speak is Malay ya. Bapa Fasli tadi bercakap, Professor Fasli bercakap bahwa malnutrition, the same thing in Malaysia actually. Ya, now every kanak-kanak menjadi kecil. Tidak lagi grow up seperti kita masa dulu. Ya, Malaysia juga mengalami malnutrition, and also their influence their cognitive ability. Because my research related the cognitive ability regarding the preschoolers. Ramai yang anak-anak tidak mengerti tentang apakah fungsi handuk itu. Handuk, the towels, you know. How come? You know, because of sometimes the malnutrition dan makanan yang tidak cukup mengganggu proses pemikiran kanak-kanak. That's why the gathering is very important for our parents, and also healthy life, character education, disease in children. Of course, ya, when the cacar ya. Ya, kalau anak-anak cacar, then the school supposed to be harus ada peraturan hantar balik anak, tidak boleh ada di situ. Ya, ada ya ibu ya. This is very important. Some of the school dia biarkan, then the disease akan separate the other children, dangerous. Ya, that's why sometimes parents, saya mau kerja, I need to work, then I need to send my children. That's why sometimes kita mengikuti ibu bapa, tetapi kita melanggar peraturan yang seharusnya. This is wrong. Kalau disease anak, kita ketika gathering kita bagi tahu ibu bapa bahwa anak tidak boleh dihantar ke sekolah. This is very important. Okay, this one also foundation class before starting the school, then we join parents duduk sekali dengan anak-anak kita dalam pertama kali masuk sekolah. This is a very good foundation class, because after sometimes our children they cannot berpisah dengan ibu bapanya kan. Then be a foundation class and then trust. The children actually trust, dia belum percaya pada gurunya. Then kita sebagai parents bring the trust with the children and also the teachers. That's a foundation class. Joining seminar, and look at this. This one is a policewoman. We invite the police to explain about sexual abuse awareness, untuk ibu bapa. Ini kita undang polisi. Sometimes joining like me and also psychologists explain about the cognitive ability, social skills, something like that. Or we invite the storytelling, storytelling, related the books, Pinter and Jane, Saya nggak tahu nih di Indonesia pakai buku apa nih for the storytelling, but a lot of book actually. And then consultation day, consultation day also, they invite some of expert and then help the parents. I need to fast because the time constraint, Okay, and then field trip, very good for field trip, Some of the school, especially in a private school, is a very good for the field trip activity. They bring the parents and also the children going to museum, going to zoo, and also some of the school they are bring the children going to mall, they are shopping, they are bring the money, mereka bawa uang sendiri, list down everything, for the barang-barang yang mau dibeli. It's a very good activity. Ni gambar. This one is a very nice, very good from the one of the kindergarten in Malaysia. And also home activities. Bring home activities to school. Then bring the parents also, and then they can understand each other. Nampak It's very nice Mother helping the boy. Tapi bukan ibunya yang buat Betul A lot of parents atau mother mau sempurna atau ini oh dia buat gitu oh nanti saya pukul dia enggak boleh. Supposed to be let it our children as a as a activity must be from the child, and also the mother. Look at this, and also grandfather, grandfather, grandmother, Some of the children caregiver is a grandfather, nenek dengan kakek. Now trend, nenek kakek yang menjaga cucu, sampai ketua mengurus anak, please lah, to me unfair. Even though your kakek nenek memang suka dan happy, but please don't send all, don't give the responsibility, hanya nenek kakek semata-mata. Kamu pergi kerja, after that anak ditinggal bersama kakek nenek. This one juga also di Malaysia juga, nenek dengan kakek terlibat sekali di dalam activities. Anak dan mak ayah dan ini sebagainya. Okay, and then on the spot cooking activities, cooking, some of the school is very good doing activities. Children are learning cook, serving food with the guidance of parents or teachers. Look at this. This one, kan? Mother help the boy to prepare the food. It's very nice. I love children. I love their behavior. This one, little chef. Look at this. some of the teachers are very good. They invite mother expert or chef, in the maybe cuisine, Indian cuisine, because in Malaysia we have the Indian, Malay, and also the Chinese. Then the school invite the parents. Okay? And they're holding Bazaar Day. Now, look at this. So cute, huh? Sorry, I blur because this is ethics, okay? And then they are doing, carrying out the bazaar at school. The children is displaying their work. And also, they are sell the cookies. They are sell to parents. This one, creating home education video. A video. The children, they are doing the video, produce the video, and then parents can watch and learn at home. Then the video can be shared by using WhatsApp group. This also the activities doing in the Malaysia. This one, okay. This one is from the teachers. When you are teacher, jangan buat tanpa harus ada persetujuan ibu bapa also. Identifying needed from the parents. This is a very important. Kita penting, jangan kita buat sesuka hati tanpa ada persetujuan ibu bapa also, And then another one is a developing parents committee. Bukan gosip-gosip, tapi committee to get the good activity, to understand something like that. Complying job description, and then arranging schedule. Sometimes I know one of the in Malaysia we have the Pemata Negara, pusat PAPN, pusat anak pemata negara. One of the kindergarten is a very good developed by ex-wife deputy ex-prime minister, Datin Sri Rosma Manso. They are very good school actually. It's a very good activity, but it's a very lack of the parental involvement. The requirementnya 4 jam selama sebulan, tetapi sukar bagi ibu bapa. Sebagai orang tua susah mau ini. There's a problem. I have also research related the parental involvement. A lot of problem. Sebab apa? Kami sibuk, kami bekerja. That's the excuses actually. Dulu pun saya kerja juga, tapi saya volunteer 6 bulan menjadi guru prasekolah because anak saya enggak mau jauh dari saya. Ya Bu, terpaksa kita harus begitu berkorban untuk anak kita. This is very good actually. Bonding, bonding and also attachment. This morning we discuss about attachment. Actually, it's a very good topic, because when the parenting related bonding, attachment, trusting, and something like that, a lot of the aspect. And then arranging schedule, which means you can allocate the time, They allocate the time. And also teacher, you must understand when the parents working in the Monday to Friday.
Time's up, madam. Time's up.
Time's up. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have time until 3 o'clock, so I give the opportunity to the participants who want to ask, maybe on the left side, in the middle, and then on the right side. So one from here, one from in the middle and the right side. So please, which one? Pak Aslan. And then Ibu. And the third one, the behind this one. Okay, please mention your name and your institution and to whom you want to ask to our three speaker. Please. Yes, it can be, and then move to Pak Aslan. There are four questions, please.
Hello all, my name is Shirley. I'm from Surabaya. My question is the best practices, because as I follow since yesterday until now, the things on my mind right now is about parenting and how parents can involve on the early childhood educations. My question is how or how far do the Korean or Sweden or Malaysia government support about parenting, and how and how far? Is it the funding that the government give, and then the government give a lot of parenting workshops at schools, especially in the small region? Or it's just my question. I'm questioning how and how far, because it is so essential. It's really important because like Professor Myonghee said that you are doing the observation about the gender by observing the children role playing, and how the parents think about that. How is the parents' point of view about that? Thank you.
Next question, please. Pak Aslan.
Thank you very much for the inspiration talk. My name is Aslan from Siamia Biotrop. It's based in Bogor, the only one in the world. I'm interested in from the speaker from the Sweden and also from Dr. Fonny from Malaysia. I've seen the linkage between UR. It's about, I want to restate there from the slide of from the speaker from Sweden. Parents should care what is the best for their children in your presentation. And the other hand say, countries should make good effort to help the parents what the best for they can to help the parents. So I can see here that the role of government is very strong. See? So first, parents will find a good thing for the children, and then the government, the country, should find a good thing for the parents to support them. And Ibu Fonny say about the parenting skills, and I agree about parenting. See, but Ibu Fonny talking about parenting, but parenting class, but this is when the children are already born, you know. But I want to add, actually, it's before that, how to find the spouse is not discussed here. So I mean, the government should create also program, you know, like training that spouse that want to marry, they have a class. Hey, this is the requirement. If you be good wife, you have to be a husband. This is not it's not mentioned here. So I think that's what I want to add. So I mean, for this one, I highly recommend it that the Minister of Education to create program, something like parenting class for young, you know, for spouse that want to become a married. Thank you so much.
Okay, third question from the middle. Who's Ibu? Yes. To whom? What is your name and to whom you
All right,
would like
thank
to
you.
ask?
Okay, thanks, moderator. My name is Julia, and I'm from PAUD Dikmas NTB. I would like to share my question to Professor Kim and also Anette. Well, Professor Kim, is pretty nice, like very awesome fact that you shared to us about the gender responsive pedagogy. Like in practical, especially for early childhood teachers, is that means that we need to eliminate the terms for this is for boys and this is for girls? I just need to make sure that. And related to that, it's quite surprising when I Google about Sweden preschools. Some articles appears about, you know, the gender neutral schools, Anette. Okay. Yeah. In the articles, it mentioned that in the gender neutral schools, the teachers in Sweden, the teachers mention not calling the boys come here, girls come here, but no, they mention their name, or they mention, or they call them as friends. So could you please just share to us about that kind of practice? Thank you so much. Thank you.
The last question on the right. Behind.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm trying to speak. I'm trying to asking by English. Even though my English not good, I hope you are the in front of me can understand what I mean. Yes. I have a question, a radical question to Professor Anette. Yes. The problem is, being good kids, it means to grow from the bottom to the top. Okay. We usually see the dream of children to be doctor, entrepreneur, police, and other professional, which more dominant than others. I see our education doesn't look an empathy building. So our children grow to individualistic, wanted to dominate others. Yes. Our children grow to want to more dominate vertical, not horizontal. Okay. But in adulthood, the competency to be empathy and social awareness is more important. Maybe how to have responsibility to protect environment, animal, and our ecosystem. We talk about quality education to guarantee the economic growth in the future, but we forget about empathy's competence to living together. Yeah. We just think about economic growth, but not think about how we live in our ecosystem. Yeah. What's your opinion about that? And the second is, what is the relationship between a political system and educational pattern? Maybe in communist system, liberal system, yeah, and a democracy system, how the pattern is the good education. And the third,
the second question, what do you mean? We don't understand.
The second question is
to the point directly.
Yes. Professor Anette talked about the democracy is a good for education. Now, what the relationship about political system, yeah, in the some country to education? If in the country which liberal, communist, Islam, and others. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. The third question to Professor Fonny Hutagulung. Maybe I mix with bahasa. Yeah. In parenting, we know there is a complex trauma parenting. Yes. Complex trauma is diturunkan dari satu generasi ke generasi yang lainnya. Jika orang tuanya mengalami neglected, diabaikan dengan orang tuanya, dia pun akan menjadi orang tua yang neglected, mengabaikan anaknya. Meskipun dia sudah sadar, if the parents aware about, I have to grow children better than our parents. It's more, itu melebih-lebihkan jadinya, lebay. Jadinya nggak neglected lagi, tapi malah memanjakan, memanjakan jadinya. Nah, how to dealing about that? We know the Bowenian therapy, family therapy, the three family tree, how to dealing about that, about the complex trauma family parenting. Thank you for attention. I want to introduce myself. I'm a psychologist. I'm lecturer in Cirebon Muhammadiyah University. I'm very eager to join with this community. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. The first question is attended to our three speakers. How far the Korean, Sweden, and Malaysian involved to what we say to the parenting programs.
Okay, thank you so much, Chair. Yeah. So for the parenting class in the Malaysia, both government will be provide for the activities, but for the private, provide from the owner of the school. Okay, when the provide from the government, which means free of charge. We have a lot of activity and also the related the curriculum. We curriculum pendidikan sekolah prasekolah KSPK kebangsaan. Then integrated the curriculum with the parenting class we have. But for the private, usually teachers and parents collaborate to develop or prepare for the activities. That's it.
Okay, so let me say something on parenting in relation to early childhood education. So for the first, we often discuss in Sweden that that all parents are not the same. I mean, there is different social backgrounds, for instance, different families that have different needs and so forth. And we know that there is actually a very important in order to improve the quality, as you were saying, in preschools and early childhood education, that we work together with the parents. So we tend to say that early childhood education should be a complement to the parents. And what does this mean? And now you have to consider that, now, as I said before, about 90% of Swedish children attend early childhood education and, of course, is at home with their parents. So Swedish childhood is very much a childhood within early childhood education. So then we think that we need to be a complement to the parents, to support them. And there is a lot of support and, as you say, sort of education also towards the parents that is done, maybe a little bit like the center in Lembang, together with early childhood education and parenting. So towards parents in relation to early childhood education. But I think that we need to be aware of also the differences in relation to social background here in the discussion around, on parents, that there is different needs, actually. Yeah.
And in Korea, I would say that there are no government-funded parenting programs or educations. However, individual preschools or kindergartens are required to hold a regular parent-teacher conferences and make some parent committee so that teachers and parents can have constant conversations about children. And we have some special system which allows parents to report some critical incidents or case to like community government, so that the government can follow up what is happening in individual preschools or kindergartens. That has both positive aspects and negative aspects that could be very annoying. Very annoying and bothering to preschool teachers. However, wearing of the presence of the kind of system, the teachers can try to do their best. That's one of the positive aspects. And going back to your question about the parents' interest in like gender roles, I would say that sometimes the teachers can like experience serious tensions or conflicts between their perception of gender and the parents' perception. So That's why I told you during my presentation, sometimes the teachers feel like a lot of tensions and conflicts, asking whether they are on the right track or not. So when they are faced with, the parents like question or doubt about their attitude or gender awareness, they are wondering what they have to do, but they are trying to like share their ideas and perspectives with parents during like the teacher parents conferences. During the teacher parent conference sessions.
Okay, hopefully our speaker answered to the question. According to the time, is almost 3 o'clock. If you want to ask more questions directly to our speaker, I think they don't. Or you have more questions, more answer.
Sorry, I also want to give an answer to the lovely lady who asked about the gender question in Swedish preschools. No, sorry. So, yes, when we talk about at least gender equality for me, it's not that boys should do girlish things and girls should do boyish things. That is not gender equality. That is just like a shift. But rather, gender equality to me and to the Swedish curriculum is that you should give children opportunities to choose. So, I mean, it could be that a boy, like I have 2 boys myself, and they have been Batman when they were kids. And it could also be that one girl wants to be a princess, or another one wants to be, all this. So it's rather that you widen the boxes rather than sort of make them smaller. So you could to widen. So that is gender equality to me. Then about the gender neutral schools and preschools. For the first, I want to say that I don't like the word gender neutral, because I don't believe that anything can be neutral. But rather, what these schools and preschools are doing is that they are aware of gender. So, just like you were talking about, that you should have a awareness, a knowledge of the questions. So that's what they are doing in those schools. But they are not really neutral. Nothing is, according to me, neutral in that sense. And then there was a third very tricky question around the political system and education. And yes, there is a connection, of course. But you could say, at least for in the Swedish case, there has never been the democracy, the values of democracy or the other values in our curriculum has never been questioned by any party, I would say. Not the conservative or there's a very broad consensus today in Sweden. It's almost seen as modern to think like this. So that's why, yeah.
Can I add one more? Responding to your question, I completely agree with what Professor Anette mentioned. In the Korean context, the same thing is happening. It's more like a freedom to select is given to children. And another thing is that like teachers are trying to create opportunities for students experience diverse things. Yeah, diversity is very much valued and respected in the current age. So teachers are going in that direction. So it's not like boys playing girls' role, girls playing boys' role. So diversity and freedom of choice, that's what matters most. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much to our three speakers. Please provide a big applause to our speaker. And I return back to the committee. Our session, plenary section, section afternoon is finished already. Please, committee, I will turn back to you. Thank you very much.